Hola Oh, this isn't Facebook. Hola YouTube. We are in the Tonto National Forest. This is the Tonto Basin Ranger District. We've been here for, in this current spot, maybe 3 days. Um, this is our fifth day of not seeing or having any contact with any other people. We're doing our 2 weeks of isolating out here on the forest before we go to see Nightcrawler's family outside of Phoenix. So we thought, since we're in the van, we might as well go someplace nice. So here's where we found. This is actually, oh my God, it is just gorgeous out here. We're so lucky to have this place. I haven't done a Facebook or a YouTube live video in like over a year because like after the first one I did of the Enza Borrego wildflowers a couple years ago or maybe a year and a half ago, they upped the limit to like 1,000 subscribers. So woohoo, I have enough subscribers to go YouTube live because I don't know how to Zoom. So this is just going to be what you get. Anyway, I wanted to sort of update people on how we were doing and what we're up to since, right now we're actually supposed to be on the Appalachian Trail, which obviously is not happening. Hey, ADL, how's it going? Oh, wow. Okay, I can kind of see stuff. This should be interesting. At any rate, we're not on the AT. Nobody should be on the AT. Oh, boy, somebody pooped right there. That ain't cool. I have to look down because it's a little bit sneaky around here. We saw a giant rattlesnake yesterday. I almost ran it over, actually. Oh, right on. Quartzite's such a cool place. It's probably about as warm there as it is here. We came down. This is the lowest elevation we've been at in a really long time. We were in New Mexico with my family there for a while. We were trying to sort of shelter in place in New Mexico after having driven as far away as Lubbock, Texas. Hey, Jason. How's it going? Hey, watching and judging you. I'm judging you too. Um, After we got to New Mexico, we stayed with my family for a while, but my New Mexico dad is an essential worker for the Department of Transportation, so he was having to go to work every day. And my New Mexico mom works for the Forest Service. She works for the Sandia Ranger District of the Cibola National Forest, and she was having to go to work most days as well. So it didn't really seem to make much sense to keep staying there when the idea is to isolate, but they were still in and out of the house every day. So, and also the weather. Oh my God, New Mexico is just as windy as ever. Windy as fuck. So we left and we've been in the van since. We stocked up. Pretty much everything that's in the van is consumable. Like we basically stocked up for weeks worth of food. And down the road from where we are, maybe like 3 or 4 miles, there's Coon Creek and then also at Cherry Creek. So we've collected water at Cherry Creek. We both have Sawyers again. Thanks to, oh my God, let me just say, thank you so much to everyone that helped us out after the van got stolen. Like, oh my gosh, I've, it, I'm just mainly without words. I think I tried to write everybody that sent something or did something for us or, on my end individually and not have cards. Thanks to my friend Stummy, who's an awesome artist, and my friend from the PCT. She sent me a bunch of note cards, so expect something in the mail at some point. Well, just don't expect it. You'll get something sometime. At any rate, so yes, the plan is to stay here on the forest. And as it gets warmer, oh no, well, that sucks. I'm sorry to hear that, John. Good luck. Be safe. Wear your mask. Safety first. Safety first. Um, I forgot what I was saying. Oh, this is going to be hard, like trying to talk to you. I'm already ADD enough. At any rate, so yes, no AT for right now, no long trails at all, frankly, for a while until this first worst part of this pestilence is behind us, because it's just unthinkable to get out onto a long trail, basically recreating, while people are suffering and dying, and people can be walking around asymptomatic and not knowing whether or not they're carrying this and passing it on to people in trail towns that don't have accommodations for it. And not only that, basically taking like 3 times the food you normally would out of their food supply because you have hiker hunger. And yeah, that's fucked up, man. Don't do that shit. You know, the people, I guess there are some people still out on a trail. You know, I can't think of any good excuse for it. We don't have a home to go to. You know, we live in a van. So what we did was we got into our van and we packed up a shitload of supplies and came out to some place where we could truly isolate in a way that's safe and responsible. You know, so I mean, there are definitely like more ideal ways to do this, I imagine. But you know, public lands is my jam. I love the views. We're going to do this legally. We'll stay on this forest for 2 weeks, which is the max within a 30-day stay of virtually any forest, and then we'll move on to another forest. The wonderful thing about doing something like this is that we can go to all kinds of different, there's the Prescott National Forest, there's Agua Fria National Monument. I mean, there are so many different public lands units out here in Arizona that we can just move around and move up and down in elevation so that we can stay comfortable. Although we have enough canned gas for our heater buddy to last forever. So I saw Jay Jackson mention that isolation food is the same as that trail food. And you still eat food. Yeah, I agree with that. But no, I don't agree that it's the same thing at all. When you're hiking 20 to 30 miles a day, you're burning shitloads of energy and you're burning shitloads of calorie, and you have to restore those. When you don't have those available to, when you're not doing that and you're just sitting on your ass all day arguing with each other on the internet, you're not having these issues. You're not eating as many calories, and therefore you're not taking more than you need out of the food supply. And you're also not taking it out of the hands of people in small remote places, you know, where they're not maybe getting as much as they should, especially since I understand the postal service and deliveries are going south. Like, I haven't really been keeping up as much as a Nightcrawler has been on this stuff. Ooh, see, let me show you something. Okay, so this is a teddy bear choya. I hope I did. Yeah, I'm not good at this, but whatever. This is a choya. So one of the ways that they make new little teddy bear choys desert, you kind of have to be watching and looking at where you're going. I have wine. This is the last of my very shitty boxed wine that I've had for like a week. I've been trying to moderate, because after this, we're not going back into town again for at least another 9 days, because this is our fifth day of total isolation out here, and so far it doesn't suck. Join us. Feel free to make as many memes as you like. Yes. So teddy bear choya. I don't know. Maybe somebody can help me remember what I was talking about. What I wanted to tell you about was I wanted to talk about some of the plants that we're finding out here. Because I know, like for me, like when I went to go do the Florida Trail, I grew up in the desert or desert adjacent, and so I'm always comfortable out here for the most part. I mean, there are things that will stab you and things that will bite you. And I picked up a rock the other day, and there was a scorpion under it, and it was mad because they don't like the light. So I felt bad about that. But other than that, I'm incredibly comfortable in the desert. But I realize that a lot of people aren't, and they just sort of see this. They see this as like a desert wasteland, you know, like there's nothing out here, nothing to see. Oh my God, I can't believe that. It's beautiful out here. There's actually nothing wrong with the van, John S. Like, I don't know how these guys stole the van. I had the only key, but they didn't punch the lock and they didn't cut any wires. They as car thieves go, were pretty damn respectful about the whole thing. I mean, like they totally tossed it and they took a bunch of stuff. You know, they took virtually everything of value and weird stuff too. They took all our toiletries. Like, who the hell wants my old brush? But I assume now that there's like a voodoo doll out there someplace with my hair in it. So if I start feeling stabbing pains, I'll know why. Some thieves made a voodoo doll of me, even though they left behind some interesting things. But yeah, so the van is fixed. And your comments like pop up briefly and then go away. So if I'm not paying attention or I'm watching where I'm going, I'm not seeing them. So feel free to type them in again so I don't have to poke the screen and then squint at it to try and figure out what you guys are up to out there. But it is really good to hear from you. It's been, you know, like I'm alone. Or, you know, before I met Nightcrawler, I was alone virtually all the time. And now I'm like never alone. But it has been so weird not really being able to have contact with people. And I'm imagining that most people feel the same way. It's a sort of scary, freaky, lonely time, and a lot of people are suffering right now. And, if there's anything I can do for any of you, by all means, please let me know. You can send me an email. You can yeah, I guess you can comment on this video after it's done. I'm not going to walk into the choya again. Or you can send me an email at michelle@supportpubliclands.com. So I had worked really hard putting together a trail challenge for this year. The Hundo 2.0, Nightcrawler came up with the name, I like it. Where basically the idea was to get out and hike 100 miles over the course of the year. Eminently doable. Virtually anybody can do this as long as the trails are open. So, I mean, if you can get out onto trails, then by all means, please go to supportpubliclands.com and sign up for the challenge. It's totally free. I want to see what public lands you guys are into. I'm always looking, the bucket list just gets longer all the time. Right on, Taco. That's awesome. Thank you. But yeah, by all means, sign up, do it. And, the longer this thing drags on, because I know there are a lot of places that are closed right now. Like, for example, most developed sites on public lands are closed right now, as they should be, because the idea is to get people to stop congregating. Although, man, we've seen like tons and tons of jeepers and side-by-side people and things like that. They're not doing social distancing very well in Arizona, frankly. We were really nervous when we were in Sholo, which is where we resupplied for all of this adventure out here. And oh my God, everybody was everywhere. There were people packed up in every place. It was a little nerve-wracking. So we were really glad to get out of there. We're really nervous about going back. Kind of scared, actually. Like, I don't want to go back into town right now. And it seems like it's the most dangerous place. I'm happy being out here. Hello, Pakistan. Wow, that's awesome. Thanks for being here. So anyway, hopefully we would love to, if it's possible, if things calm down and chill out a little bit, would like to get back and possibly southbound the AT later in this season if it's possible. It's not looking good. Frankly, the conference I was supposed to speak at in Alabama, the Alabama Hiking Trail Society conference, that was supposed to be the last weekend of March, obviously got postponed. It's supposed to occur on May 8th through 10th. I would be incredibly shocked if they went forward with that. And I probably won't be able to go anyway, because I'm sure as hell not getting on a plane. And I'm also feeling like this is not a really good time to be driving across the country. We'll see what happens in a month. So that's about it. Other than that, basically our plan is just to sort of lay low, try and stay safe. We need to get our 2 weeks of alone time in before we go inflict ourselves on Nightcrawler's family, because his mom is kind of high risk, and we don't want to be the bearers of any kind of gift that keeps giving. So be out here. Okay. So yeah, Sunny. They did close Flag Mountain up at the southern terminus of the Pinhoti Trail. Flag Mountain is the southernmost peak in the Appalachian chain in the Blue Ridge outlying mountains. And Sunny, who is also known more famously as Nimble Nomad, has been the caretaker there for a couple of years. He invited me to the Conservation Corps complex there, the Civilian Conservation Corps complex there, that he was managing before I started the Pinhoti Trail in 2018. Oh my gosh, one of the coolest people I have ever met in my life. Just the most humble dude ever. And that guy is magical. Like, that's life goals right there. He didn't start hiking until he was like 16 years old. And since then, he has done more hiking than probably most of us will ever do in our lives, even the ones that are crazy like me, doing tons and tons of, hey, Hobbit, hi, tons of long trails. But I do understand, like, he texted me like shortly after they closed Flag Mountain to let me know that he was going back home to Missouri. He's looking to do a second run of his popular book on hiking. So he said that he felt it was time for him to move on from Flag Mountain. So that's a bummer because I was really looking forward to getting to see him again as well. So that may be why you haven't heard back from him in the text message. At any rate, what else do we have here? Yeah, teddy bear choya, those are not friendly. And I was going to take you down to the van, but I'm a little nervous about it because the service up here is super sketchy. Hey, Darren, how's it going? Hi. Okay, this is fun. I should do this more often. I definitely am not drinking enough, but I just have a little bit of wine left and it's got to last me this entire time I choose to continue inflicting myself upon you all. Hey, how's it going, Jim? Jim is awesome. Jim was one of our like mega trail angels on the CDT. All right, I'm totally lost. I don't know how I got in here. Now that I'm like surrounded by teddy bear choya, I'm definitely gonna die. So this could be my last missive, whatever. Anyway, Jim, oh my God, he is so awesome. He totally hooked us up and helped us out when we were in northern Montana. And he had sort of a zoo full of found and rescued animals. People who rescue animals are good people. Oh my gosh, but he lost his sweet puppy Willie recently, so I'm so sorry for your loss, Jim. He was such a great dog. Well, I was going to take you to the van, but now I'm like totally stuck in a forest of choya. So yeah. Just trying. Not. At least the jumping choya aren't out here because those little bastards are super evil. They will definitely live up to their name and try to stick to you. That's how they propagate. So this here is a jojoba bush. It doesn't have any fruit or nuts on it right now. We found some at the last place we were camped. Hey, how's it going, Gaming Cartel? Yes, Willie did have a great retirement. He hit the doggy lotto when he found you. He was a very lucky boy. So yeah, the jojoba plants, they have like the nuts on them that are apparently you can eat them in a survival situation, but it's not recommended. Like you can't really eat more than 5. And apparently, like because they're so waxy, they can just basically give you a lot of gastrointestinal distress. What I did want to find out here, was a plant, because I've been out here studying a book that John C. sent, Sonoran Desert Edible Plants, which has been awesome because we're right smack in the middle of the Sonoran Desert. So, what else do we got to do? So I've been out every day looking for plants, and the first one that I saw, which was ironic and super fun, was called Blue Dicks, and they are edible. Nightcrawler ate one. He said it was quite tasty. They actually have a fairly high sustenance factor on them. I'm not seeing any around. This is actually only the second time I've been up on this hill. Like I've had typically generally good service down by the van, but this afternoon, like it was going on the fritz, and Nightcrawler said that the service up here was really good. Well, and the views are just spectacular. Oh my God. You keep them in a bag. Eat a bag of Blue Dicks. That's what you do. So actually, like I wanted to go find some more. The Blue Dicks are actually a member of the Salvia family, or no, those are a member of the lily family. So they have a bulb. The whole plant is edible. They're related to wild onions, which obviously are also edible. We haven't seen any of those, but the Blue Dicks are basically like edible from top to bottom. The bulbs are a little bit hard to get out because they tend to grow in this kind of like crappy, hard, rocky soil. So, but he did manage to dig one out and ate it. And yeah, Smurfy indeed is what it was. So cheers. I hope you are having a little bit of your favorite stupefier. I'm gonna try and walk you back to the van. But oh my God, I'm just like, I feel bad. I feel super conflicted, because as times go, we are actually like, we're doing really well out here. Like we would rather be walking, obviously. We would rather be hiking. I mean, both of us, I really wanted to get back out to the AT and finish it. It would almost be better if we just southbounded it though, because it was the northernmost 700 miles that I missed my first go at it in 2018. But, we just sort of you have to be flexible. I feel like if you're really rigid in your thinking and you're really rigid in your planning, that's not a good plan, you know? Like, you have to be flexible. Shit happens. Shit happens every day, all the time, to us, to other people. Oh yeah, now I'm totally lost. I'm just like wandering around up here. Oh well, I don't have Gaia on. I'm talking to you instead. But oh my gosh, shade. Like, it's been it's been gnarly out here in terms of the heat, but before we were super cold. We've been cold for so long that we were like, well, let's just get down in elevation and get someplace nice. So this place that we're camping at now is actually like pretty freaking ideal because it has, you know, warmth. It has reasonable amount of cell service. We're completely stocked on food, enough definitely for the 2 weeks that we need to be out here. We have water a few miles down the road. We're really lacking for nothing, you know, and plenty to do to keep ourselves busy while we're out here, even though we're not doing what we would prefer to be doing, which is hiking a long trail. And, you know, definitely had got into some of the arguments online with people about that. And frankly, there's no point. Yeah, safety supplies are lacking. The safety supplies are like going in the same direction as the wine, but that's okay. Quarantined in Central Phoenix. Ah, cool. You got the Gaia. Wine and rents. Yeah, you know, I finally like I signed up for the affiliate program with Gaia because I use it so much, and I had been using their free trial for like way longer than you're supposed to because I just never like turned it back on to sync it or check back in. So I'm an affiliate with Gaia now, which is awesome because they gave me a free year of premium service. If anybody is interested in picking up a subscription, a premium subscription to Gaia, I'll put a link to that in the description of this video, and you get 20% off and I get a 5% commission, which comes out to roughly $1.59. So, you know, I can buy a couple gallons of water with that here in Arizona. Another nice thing about Arizona where you can like not have to interact with anybody, they have the drive up water stations all over the state. And so basically, as long as you're wearing gloves, and we got 4 cans of Lysol now, so we just squirt everything in town. We squirt door handles, keypads, everything, gas nozzles, just like spray, spray, spray. So the do-it-yourself water tanks are a blessing because then we don't have to interact with people, and so it doesn't really count against our isolation time, which I appreciate. So, okay, I found my way back pretty much. I'm gonna take you guys on a little tour of the van. Nightcrawler's been cleaning out the cooler. It's not cool anymore because we've been out for like over a week, and so the 2 tiny ice packs we had in there melted. And Larry and Charity from TLC Ranch outside of Pie Town, we stayed with them for, you know, we stayed on their property for a night on our way out of New Mexico, and they hooked us up with like, oh my God, a bunch of super delicious elk meat. Yeah, definitely use gloves. I like the idea that somebody had of using the dog poo plastic baggies if you don't have gloves. Because I picked up gloves at an AutoZone because I did have an issue with the van. Um, and now I know what you're talking about. Yeah, I don't know what we had the check engine light came on the van, and it coded out something to do with like the torque converter, clutch solenoid electrical circuit. I have no idea what the fuck that means. But anyway, 2 days later, we started the van back up again to drive it into town to get it checked out at a mechanic, and the light went off. So there was nothing really that they could do. At any rate, so now here. Oh my gosh. Well, you know, it's a good thing you're comfortable in your manhood, John. You can wear pink and like still rock that shit. Anyway, so here's our house. This is one night crawler. Hello. Looks like it smells like the cooler is clean because it was smelling pretty rank. The elk sort of defrosted a little bit too quickly in the cooler before we were able to get it all cooked off. That is one of the other downfalls of this site is that there's really no wood to burn here. There's a fire ring right around the front of the van, but there's nothing to burn here. Palo Verde doesn't burn, and that's what all the green trees are. These are all, I think these are blue Palo Verdes. There's 2 different kinds of Palo Verdes, I believe, that grow basically in the wild, and then there's one cultivated kind that they grow at, I think, the Boyce Thompson Arboretum here in Arizona. At any rate, here's our house. I cleaned it for you. You're welcome. Go for a little tour. It should take about 30 seconds. So we had to do a little bit of extra stocking for this particular run because we weren't planning to be in the van except to drive it to Alabama and then leave it while we walked up to Maine. We didn't come out with a fully stocked rig. So we have a cutting board that's about this big. So that's super fun. But other than that, we have, you know, back up the hill. This ends the van tour. I lost service like as soon as I tried to get into the van, which is why I started this out on the hill. But so sorry about that. That's what you get for walking around here. I was worried about walking around and stepping on a snake. I'm still worried about stepping on a snake. But anyway, the van is in pretty good shape. We're not really fully stocked for like being in it for a long period of time because we weren't planning on being in it for longer than it took to drive to Alabama. But it is what it is. We're not going to be adding a lot more stuff to it now. Basically, it's just going to be a sort of spend 2 weeks someplace, ensuring that we're not transmitting anything to the people that we love and care about, or to people in towns where we get supplies. And we're basically we're trying to avoid major cities like Phoenix just because there's so many people there. I feel like it's just not a safe place to be. But we don't want to go to small towns either where they're just like not really equipped in terms of like food and supplies for travelers to come through. So more like the mid-sized towns, like we went to Sholo, I would go to Pace, and I would go to Globe, the Globe Superior area, things like that, where they have plenty, like plenty enough where us taking our little bit out isn't going to be a big deal. And we try and spread the pain around since we are stocking up to be by ourselves in this van for 2 weeks at a time. So, okay, this is a blue dick. Phillipsburg. I do miss Phillipsburg. Can't wait to get back there. So this is a blue dick. You can eat the whole thing. But they're a member of the lily family, which I was surprised by that they're just sort of growing out here in the middle of all these cacti. And then I found chia plant yesterday. I haven't seen the same species. Are you talking about Bob, CNC coder? Yeah, it's actually the weather here has been beautiful since we got to Arizona. It was a little bit windy when we first arrived, but other than that, it's pretty much been sunny the whole time. And yes, speaking of sunny, he is no longer at Flag Mountain, and he went back to Missouri to, I guess, work on his personal project. Now, apparently, YouTube Live is not good for people. Hopefully, Sunny's gone. It's a bummer. I hope to see him again soon, but he went back to Missouri, and I'm not sure what his plans were after he got the second run of his book up and going again. Anyway, oh, check this out. Okay, so this is a hedgehog cactus. Beautiful when they're in bloom, and apparently when the blooms turn into fruit, those are edible as well. So basically been out here studying up on ways to survive. And I found wolfberries earlier today. I think I had submitted it to iNaturalist. iNaturalist is my favorite app for plant IDs. It's incredible, and you get to be sort of a part of something bigger than just yourself and your own curiosity, which is nice because once enough people, actually it only takes two, once two people verify your plant ID, then it becomes what they call research grade. And your photos and your input can be used for all kinds of different educational and scientific projects, which I think is a fantastic way to sort of share what you're doing out here with the greater world for the greater good. At any rate, well, I was going to give you a tour of the van, but I can't because I'll disconnect again. So, anybody have any other questions for us? Can you post a link to your eatables book? I don't have an eatable. What is an eatables book? I don't know what that is. Sounds tasty. I wish I had an eatables book, but no, I don't know what that is. Oh, yes. Yeah. Are you talking about the book that John gave it? Yes, I will absolutely. I'll post the title and the Amazon information for the Sonoran Food Desert, or Desert Foods, I think it's called. It's a good one. And then I also have, you got it, 80 hikes. I have that one, and I have also the Arizona edible plants. And then I tend to collect Native American herbals and things like that. So I have a Navajo herbal that I've been referring to while I've been out here as well. And then one for the Cahuilla Indians that are based in Southern California. But well, there are some plants that you find here in the Sonoran Desert. Most of the plants that you find in the Cahuilla Indian book are more prone to the Colorado Desert of Southern California, and like the Mojave, things like that. So actually the Mojave is its own desert. But anyway, yes, I will absolutely post a link to that, because oh my God, it's just amazing out here. And I wish I could walk you guys around a little bit more. Yes, Taco it is, the Support Public Lands group. But I'm very shitty at it right now because, again, we don't have a whole lot of service. It's kind of crazy because had been working on my website, and I got what I needed to get done before we started the trail, which was basically to get the challenge up and running. Because what I really want you guys to do is get out and explore your public lands and then share them with me, so I know where I want to go next. But so I got the challenge up, and I had to start all this social media around Support Public Lands, because I'm not really able the website for the most part is down. There was over 100 pages of content on that website before I took it down. I just wasn't happy with the way it looked and ran and felt. So I decided to rebuild it entirely. But since it's only me doing the entire site, I do all the copywriting, I do all the photography, I do all the videos, I do all the social media, I build the website itself, deal with the hosting and all of that stuff. It's an enormous project. So taking it down in public lands in the outdoors and get people to, my gods definitely are down with this. So I want everyone to come out and enjoy stuff like this, because if people aren't out here, actually enjoying it for themselves. It's one thing to watch us dum-dums out here doing, things like walking all day in landscapes like this or whatever. But another thing entirely to come out and experience it for yourself. I can't show you through the screen how it smells out here. I can't show you through the screen how this breeze feels in the heat, because it has been a hot day today. It's been a bitch. But now there's a cool breeze. Oh my God, it's fantastic. These are only things that you can learn by coming out and actually doing it for yourself. And you're not likely to advocate for public lands unless you're coming out and doing stuff like this yourself. So, and that's mainly what I want too. Right now, during this whole time while we're all worrying about, the immediacy of this pestilence, there's a ton of things happening in government, because people are sneaky, and don't trust politicians. They're out there basically trying to take everything they can from us, the American people, while we're all worried in our homes about whether or not we or our loved ones are going to die, which obviously is very important, because you can't do shit for advocating or anything else if you're dead. So please don't die. Be healthy, be safe, stay the fuck home for right now. We are doing our part, basically staying in the home we've got away from people, which is not the most ideal situation, but it is the best that we can do right now. So yes, the Support Public Lands group is up and running, but I am not very good at getting stuff onto it right now. I have like 8 social media channels I'm trying to keep up with while I'm out here, for the most part, with no service. So thanks for being patient And yeah, while we're out here, when I do come up this hill, I'll definitely try and post some more stuff because I'm very concerned about public lands right now, what's going on with EPA restrictions being let loose. There's apparently some mining operations that people are gunning for right near the Grand Canyon. I mean, what the hell? This is a giant country. BLM has land all over the West. Well, I'm not necessarily a fan of one-time extractive technology when outdoor recreation brings in over $800 billion annually of mostly sustainable money to the American economy. I'm more of a fan of that. There's definitely more jobs in it. There's definitely more money in it, and it doesn't ruin or scar the landscape forever and or make it inaccessible for us to ever enjoy again. So we paid for these lands with our taxes, and we pay for their upkeep with our taxes. So, but if we don't stand up for our rights to continue to have access to these public lands, we'll lose them while we're looking the other way or not paying attention or just not caring because we're not out here. So I want you to come out here. Sign up for the challenge at supportpubliclands.com. And probably, like, I don't really know what to post in videos anymore. Like, we've been doing the van life thing. And so just kind of like dealing with like how we're getting by on a day-to-day basis out here, like with cleaning stuff and what we're eating, because obviously we're going to be eating more and more like hikers as we're out here because we're running out of fresh food very quickly. So we'll be back to the ramen and the rice pretty quick, which sucks, but it is what it is. It is a good life. I feel very lucky. I feel very lucky that I get to be out here doing this. I mean, it's not easy at all the time, but it is definitely this is all I want to be doing. I love this life, Well, okay, I'm lying. I would like to be walking. I would be like to be walking like really, really far, like making some trail my home for the next several months. But in the meantime, this is not bad for second choice. I'll take it. At any rate, I think that's about it. Let's see. It's good to catch up with you too. I can't wait to come back to Phillipsburg and see you guys again. Yeah, that was such a great town. We really enjoyed our time. When the virus goes away, what's the plan? Well, I don't know if when the virus gets to a point where it's manageable and it's like safe to freely move about the cabin that is our world again, then the plan is, it depends on what time of the year it is. I mean, like, we definitely want to get in at least some long trail, but the CDT window, obviously we got northbound that. The CDT southbound window, I don't know, maybe, but I'd be more inclined at this point if we could possibly swing it to southbound the AT. That sounds good. The couscous is awesome. Oh my God, that is one of my favorites because you can hot cook it or cold cook it either way. Yeah, we had to bypass so many miles on the CDT. Like, I don't even feel like we did the CDT. So like when we go back out to do the CDT again, I'm actually looking forward to hiking the fucking CDT. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to hike around it. I don't want to hike adjacent to it. I don't want to hike, ish. I don't want a CDT-ish again. I already did that ish. You know what I mean? So yes, I would like to do the CDT over again in its entirety I like to go northbound. Is no-go or no-go for me, especially on the CDT. The AT I could southbound because you're not walking all day like this. The sun in your eyes, and all you can do is look at the ground, right? Ooh, the Bartram Trail. I've heard of the Bartram Trail, actually. My friend City Slicker told me about the Bartram Trail. He had done it. I think he ended up doing almost all of the trails off the AT. He was Mr. AT, and he's no longer with us, so that's unfortunate because he was an encyclopedia of knowledge about the AT and the trails around it, and I miss him. But well, thank you. I'm glad you you guys all watched the CDT videos. I don't know how you hung in there because I feel like mainly it was a lot of bitching about adverse weather conditions. But I'm glad you enjoyed that. Thank you very much. I'm glad So, whatever floats your boat. I took stained glass when I was younger because I was afraid of glass. I was afraid of broken glass specifically. And so to face my fear of broken glass, I went and took stained glass lessons where you deal with broken glass all day long. I thought, take that fear. So, and my stained glass teacher told me I had made something I did not like at all. And I was wanting to do stained glass to be a glass artist and sell it. And so I made something I thought was particularly hideous. And she said, don't worry, honey. She's like, there's an ass for every seat. And it's true. It's true for that. It's true for everything, frankly. I mean, the range of videos that are out there. I don't watch videos. I don't watch my videos. I don't watch Nightcrawler's videos. Frankly, the only videos that I'm actually into a little bit is Crime Pays but Botany Doesn't, which actually Jim Berg turned us on to when we were up in Phillipsburg. And that guy is fucking awesome. If you are interested in plants or you just want to hear a heavily accented Italian dude out talking about the fucking plants and what the shit, then Crime Pays but Botany Doesn't is an awesome YouTube channel and you should definitely check it out. But oh god, I don't even remember the hitchhiking into Tijuana. Somebody just mentioned that. Oh. Oh yeah. Okay, I remember. Yeah, hitchhiking into Harris. That was a good run with John C. So Mr. Meme. Wow, I love the memes. They are awesome. I never thought that anybody would make a meme out of me. Really? That's some what the shit. But anyway, so the plan, yeah, ideally it would be nice to do a long trail. If this calms down reasonably, then we'll look at north or southbounding the AT later in the season. We'd have to haul ass, but it's doable. My niece is getting married in Arizona in October. And I don't want to miss that. Those are the kinds of things that ideally, theoretically, only happen once. So I'd really like to be there for that with her and her new dude. We got to meet him the last time we came through Phoenix. I'm like, oh, look at that view. Oh, you're welcome, America. Fuck yes. Ugh. All right, folks. I'll have to figure out some way to give you a tour of the van at another time. And then that way also I can actually sit down and drink my wine. And you can say hi to Nightcrawler and whatnot. I can show you some other plants. Here's a globe mallow. It's not blooming out as much. Oh yeah. John, yes, please. Would you please teach us how to fish? Otherwise, if the apocalypse happens, we're totally screwed because we can't eat blue dicks forever. Right? Well, I don't want to eat blue dicks forever. Anyway, thanks you all for coming and hanging out. If you have any other questions, hit me with them. Eve, how do you pronounce your name? Eugenie. I don't know how to pronounce that, but I also want to send a big thanks and also a big apology on behalf of the actual trail community to the trail angels and the communities that do support and have supported long distance hikers and the long distance community for, so many years, especially on the PCT and especially on the AT. The CDT, I think it's been a more recent phenomenon, the trail angels and trail communities. The CDTC is actually doing a really good thing. Avu Jane. Okay, well, I'll just call you Hobbit. But yeah, I just want to extend my greatest gratitude and my biggest apologies for the people that were out there this year and some of those there's still people out on all three of the trails, which is some bullshit. This is not an appropriate time to hike. It's not an okay time to hike. It's not through hiking is a selfish thing ultimately. And I can't think of anything that could possibly make it more selfish than going out and doing it when there is something like this going on. States shut down, towns shut down, parks shut down, services shut down. It's not an appropriate time to be out hiking. It's not a respectful way to deal or address the people that have cared for us for so long. So to all of you trail angels out there, thank you for everything that you have done. You are magical. You are the trail magic. The trail angels are the trail magic. But yeah, I mean, for anyone who's still out on trail, you can definitely eat a bag of fucking blue dicks and kick rocks. I don't think that there's anything proud to be said. You know, there's going to be no pride in saying you hiked in 2020. There's virtually no way to successfully finish any of the 3 trails if you're trying to do a northbound right now. So I just don't see the point in it. We like to go out and hike a trail. Our intention is to complete my intention is to complete the trail, and I believe that Nightcrawlers is too. There's no point in going out there and doing a trail if you're not going to be able to finish it, and you can't reasonably believe you're going to be able to finish it when you start. The only people that believe that, you know, I think are people that have never hiked before for the most part, because there's just no way. And there's no way to treat the people that have been so good to us, and it's a great way to burn goodwill and that community spirit that this community is really well known for, that I love so much. So I'm a little protective of my tribe and my people. And so yeah, if you're still out on trail, you can go fuck yourself. But other than that, the rest of you, we'll catch you up trail. Jason Jackson. Oh my God, hey, I want you to know that we didn't get our buffs and gaiters stolen. So I am so happy for that. Thank you so much. I love them. I love them. And like you gave an extra pair of gaiters. So we each have a pair of gaiters. And then there was a third pair. And I'm wondering if it's okay with you if I would like to give away the third pair of gaiters in one of the giveaways for the trail challenge. So please let me know if that would be okay with you. I wouldn't want to give anything away that was a gift to us without permission and letting you know that that's what I'd like to do. But I love them so much. And so I would just like to, okay, well, thank you. I'm definitely going to do that. I'm stoked for the giveaways, like for the first 100 registrants, like I'm going to do a random drawing for a subscription to Backpacker magazine. I have a Summit Bum pack from Pack, a brand new pack, to give away at some point, which will probably be around the end because, you know, Skunk Ape and his through pack company are like a pretty big deal now. And so the gaiters, so it's kind of cool. I'm going to give away some of Stummy's note cards that she made of some drawings around the Oregon area where she lives. I'm really excited. I love giving stuff away. And since we've been out here, I've had a chance, since I've had service almost none of this time, to go through a bunch of public lands literature, and I'm like focusing on the Arizona, obviously. So at some point on on the Support Public Land, I'd be doing a giveaway of Arizona adventure literature. So I have stuff on Arizona state parks, the Grand Canyon, the Arizona Trail, all kinds of stuff. I mean, like I literally, before, you know, getting back into the hiking for the last couple of years, spent almost all my time just traveling the country, hitting every public lands office I could possibly find and collecting all the free literature that they would give me with the intent of reading it someday. So today's that day. So once I'm done with it and like I get it all processed, because obviously I can't drag around buckets full of literature forever. I have a roommate now. So I'm going to start sending it out to you guys who want to have it. And I'm happy to share it with you. And oh my God, stickers. I have so much stickers and so much Smokey the Bear stuff. So yeah, I need to start doing some giveaways. Maybe I'll do this live thing more often. This has been kind of fun. Hey, I miss doing the YouTube. I miss walking. I miss the community. But I am so glad that I'm able to have this time with you. The next time we find someplace badass and awesome like this, hopefully there will be service and we can do this again. All right. So peace out.